Hey everybody, Charles. I'm coming on here because I want to know. I'm taking a little break from my mask making projects. I've been sending masks out to people who donate to my son's GoFundMe for his recovery. But I'm taking a little break from it because I've been cutting and sewing and cutting and putting and ironing, and you can't do that too long. Oh man, it'll make you cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. But so I'm taking a break, and my daughter called me because now my son is home, but he's in Oklahoma. I'm afraid to go there because I'm afraid I might have COVID-19 at night. I sit up and wonder, do I have it? Do I have it? Do I have it? And I don't want to take it to him. I don't want to take it to them. And I don't want, because he's in a weakened state. So I'm not sure what's going to happen. Anyway, he has this, he's home from the hospital. He's walking slow, he's talking slow, and he has moments where his clarity is gone, where he's like, where was I? Where am I? Who are you? He didn't know who the cat was. He didn't know who some of the cousins was. He has no recollection of the events that put him in the condition he's now in, which in some ways I guess is a good thing. But he's some of his like he was saying something about my brother, and we're fairly close knit family, but he couldn't remember his name, and so his mom had to tell him what the name was. But they're in Oklahoma with him, and I don't want to go out there because I don't, I'm afraid I got COVID-19 on my ticket to it. So he has this incident today where he's like standing in the kitchen next, and my daughter said it looked like he was looking for something. She's like, "What are you looking for?" And then he just reached down and pulled they put a feeding tube in because he wasn't swallowing, so they had to put this feeding tube in. And now he is. So the feeding tube is like a surgically placed item that goes right into his stomach so he can be fed that way. And now he doesn't need it anymore, but they have to remove it after they know he's been eating regularly. So he just pulls it out. And she said the food from his stomach was all oozing out into, it's like, what happened now? So she relates. So I'm like show of hands with people. The reason I bring this story to you is because it's show of hands. How many parents, if you're a parent, I'm a parent, I have 4 children, and they're about the biggest thing I worry about. I worry about my children. Are they going to be all right? Are they going to get COVID-19? Are they going to keel over? That's my worry. And now my son they send me the picture of him being beaten up, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm glad I called, and everybody got this, because I was prompted to call when he went into the hospital, or when the incident happened. I was prompted to call by my other son who was talking about it, and I said, well, we better call him, make sure he's all right. And so I called my daughter and said, can you check on him? And she went and checked and said, oh my God, he's in horrible condition. And then she dialed 911, and they got paramedics out and whisked him to the hospital. Thank God for paramedics. They are America's true heroes. A cop showed up and he tried to intervene and interrupt. He tried to just take them over. And they moved. And my daughter's recollection of the thing is that when the cop showed up, he's like, well, I'm here now. I got this under control. And he like bullied in on the paramedics who were trying to ascertain all that they needed to strap him down and see if anything was, like his neck is broken, or should we strap him to the board? And they're doing that, but the cop interviewed, I got this. I'm trying to help here. I'm going to help him. And my daughter finally had to, because the paramedics, as soon as they see the cop do that, they like back away and say, oh, Mr. in charge is here. And my daughter tells me that they just deferred to him. And he starts grilling my son about the incident, and he's so groggy he can't even tell you who he is. And my daughter's like, he's not gonna. Can you let the paramedics get back in and help him? He says, that's what I'm doing. I'm helping him. And he's like, no, he needs to be taken care of. So let them do their job. And reluctantly, he let the paramedics get in there and do his job. And she sent me a picture of what he looked like. I was like, whoa. Oh my God. And now I'm worried. So now he's gone through 3 weeks in the hospital, 1 week of it in ICU. So he's in pretty bad shape. And he comes home and he's walking slowly, talking slowly. And then he has these moments where he loses, and he pulls the feeding tube in his stomach. He pulls it out. And so my daughter's telling me the story. She's telling me what happened. Yeah, he pulled the feeding. And I'm waiting for her to get to the end part that puts, I'm like, waiting for the end part that puts my mind at ease, where the end part is, and we got him to the emergency room and they fixed it. That's all I'm waiting to hear. But she's going into detail about, well, my other brother is gone with the car and he went to get a pizza and he won't be back. And it's like, wait, what? So he's still in the house? He hasn't gone? No, not yet. We're waiting for Zach to come back so we can take him to the emergency room. And you're like, okay, call me when he comes back. And I'm like going into fetal position, worrying about him and thinking, all his guts are going to spill out on the floor. So what'd you do? I put some gauze in it and wrapped it up real good so it's not leaking. Okay, good. At least that's handled. Wow. And then, so I said, call me back when you get the car back, and then you go to the emergency room. So it's like 5 minutes later, she calls back. He's back. So we're taking him. I'm like, good. So let me know how that goes. So she gets there, and then she calls me. She says, yeah, I'm at the hospital, and I pulled up to the place where they let him out, and then there are 2 guards in there, and they won't come out. And I don't want to get out of the car because he's in the car, and he might touch some stuff because he has these moments where it's like, what's this do? Shift, and then when the car goes off, you're like, you can't leave him alone. And she's like, yeah, but I need to get somebody to help me. So she tells him, don't touch anything, and gets out. And now she's telling me all this. And I'm like, well, did they take him in? Is he in the emergency room? Are they taking care of him? And then she goes into the store, and I'm waiting for, again, the end where, yeah, and then they came and got him and took him and fixed him. But she's taking her ever loving time to get to that, kind of like I'm doing. Yeah, I wonder where she got that from. But anyway, and I'm just sitting there waiting for the end part where it's, and they live happily ever after. That's all I want to hear. I want to hear the end part. So she says, no, they made us go around to another door where there were all these tents, and we had to wait for the lady to come out and ask us, what's wrong? And they're like, it's him. He took the feeding tube out. And she's like, oh, let's get him in there. And it's like, no, you can't just take him. He doesn't know stuff. Does he have your contact information? He might forget my name by the time you walk him 10 steps from here. No, you have to take it. So she's like, oh, yeah, he got like kicked in the head several times, so he's having trouble remembering. He couldn't remember his birthday. So you're not going to get a lot of success, a lot of cooperation out of him, because he's not going to be able to answer the simple questions you're giving him. And at times he seems like he is, but he's got to be. So I'm waiting as she's telling the story. Did they take him in? Did you give him all that information? She says, yeah, I gave him that information. Well, I would like to know that up front so that I don't have this whole sweaty palms and clammy neck and stuff and thinking, oh my goodness. But why do we worry so much as parents? I don't know. He's older now. Isn't that supposed to go away at some point? But no, it doesn't. I'm still like hyper worried that he's going to be all right. And I'm waiting for her to call back to say what they told her at the emergency room, that we fixed it and we bandaged it up so he can't pull it out again or something. I don't know. But, until that phone call comes, here I sit. And I'm waiting for the end of the story where the happily ever after part comes. Truly, that's what we as parents are waiting for. Happily ever after.